Greetings, salutations, Charlton 66 here once again with another video. Welcome back, everybody. Just doing a video to talk about a couple things. One of the things I want to talk about is a Bronze Age comic series that I'm sure is overlooked by a lot of people. It's usually found in the 50-cent quarter bins, and it's overlooked. It's only a 10-issue run, but it's a phenomenal series. But before I get into that, I've been watching everyone's videos. Well, shouldn't say everyone. It's people have been making a lot of videos, which is good, and I've been really enjoying them. A lot of contests, a lot of appreciation videos, 100 video contests, 200 video contests, 300 video contests, which is really good. It shows that the community is growing. I'm still a young pup when it comes to the community, so I just seen how much has grown since I started making videos a few months ago. Actually, I think it's been almost, honestly, a few months. I think it's almost a year now. Come to think about it, I guess it just goes by so quick. With the videos and stuff that I just lost track of time. I think it's been a year. There's been a lot of good videos, a lot of great content, and some people are just making videos like 2 or 3 a day. It seems like Silver Age Dave, Betterog, excellent videos, guys, and you're just making videos. I don't know. Having the time is hard enough sometimes, but finding good content, it's also one of those things that it's a trial and error type thing, but you guys seem to hit the nail on the head every time you make videos. Of course, there's a lot of other good videos out there. That's just to name a few YouTubers that I do enjoy. I've been watching those videos, trying to keep up with everybody. One of the things I want to talk about is everyone knows, well, people who watch the videos and my YouTube handle is Charlton66, so I'm a big Charlton guy. But they're, the Charlton, what do they call it? Neo, it's called something, Neo, yeah, I think Charlton Comics Neo, or Neo Media, but they're putting out phenomenal stuff, and I just want to get it out there if I can. I know I talked about them before, the stuff that they're putting out, but it's phenomenal stuff, and it's one of those things that that you get a lot of bang for your buck. In the world of crossovers and big events, and one issue leading to another issue, to another issue, to another issue, with no really resolution, or the story doesn't really, pan out. These are really good. This is good stuff where they're done in one. You buy one issue and everything you have is right there. And again, you get that feeling of Charlton. You get that Bronze Age. It's got that Bronze Age feel to it. And one of the ones that I have, I think I've showed a couple of these already, but I got some more recently. It's Charlton Arrow #1. It's got everything in there from Charlton, all the creators involved with this, and they're pretty hefty. It's a square bound book. Charlton Arrow #3. I don't have number 2. Got everything in it, one for the price of admission. You get all that into one comic, which I think is a pretty good package. Charlton Arrow #4. #5. Great Joe Staten cover. E-Man and Yang. Charlton Arrow number 6. Great cover there. I really wish they would do convention appearances. The company was set up at cons. It would be really great to have the creators there. Steve Ditko's Weird Comics. Roger McKenzie's, everyone knows that name, I'm sure. Total Frenzy Comics. Witness the menace and the madness of the Spook Man and the Nightingales. And Sandy Carruthers, the cover artist here, at least for the Spook Man feature, has the signature the same as Warren Sattler did when he drew for Charlton. You see the signature at the bottom, looks like Warren Sattler. How to sign his Charlton stuff. Again, these are anywhere range anywhere between $5.99 to $8.99, and again, you know, we pay that much for certain comics, and you get a lot. Like I said, a lot of bang for your buck. Unusual Suspense number 1. Paul Kuperberg's in this. Mort Todd, Sandy Carruthers, and some other folks doing features and work in this. The last one, which is really cool, Charlton Wild Frontier number 1. This was $8.99, but you get 4 or 5 features in this. So again, those are really fun to have in your collection. And you know, again, it's got the good old Charlton logo on it, and it's, you know, it reads like, you know, and it's set up like Bronze Age Charlton. So it's a fun little package. Each issue is fun to read. So it's just something to think about if you're out to look, if you're looking for something new, something different. You can get them on Amazon. Obviously, the cover price, this will be a little bit cheaper off of Amazon, but all the issues are on Amazon. So on to a Bronze Age series that was really good, and it's one of those series I think's overlooked by a lot of collectors. I know there's a few people. I know Howler Mouse is a fan of the series, and a couple other YouTubers that I know of have mentioned the series in the past. But it continued after the series continued. It picked up in another title, but we'll get to that in a second. And the comics I'm talking about is Omega the Unknown. Here's the first issue. Awesome Ed Hannigan cover with Joe Sinnott. Starts out with a bang right there, with a great cover. The character, it's really a series that is all into itself. Steve Gerber, Mary Screens, I think that's how you say her last name, did the story. Jim Mooney did the artwork, and it's just the comic book is not really about the hero, which is an alien from another planet, an unknown planet that arrives to Earth, kind of a fish out of water setup, but he hardly talks. There's hardly any dialogue, only what he thinks and his observations, and it's really well written. But it's really the relationship between him and the kid in the I think he's 12 years old, goes by the name of James Michael. I think it's Starling is his last name. But their relationship, how it unfolds, is really a pivotal part of the story, because things are not what they seem. Certain aspect, like James Michael's parents and other things going on with Omega. Now here's number 2. Again, it being a Marvel comic and a new character, they got to throw a mainstay character in there. Just glad it was a Spider-Man, but still it was a Hulk, which was a kind of a weird pairing there. Um, but again, phenomenal issue. Really good stuff. The battle is not really that, it's not that climactic with Omega and the Hulk. Um, the this the comics, unfortunately, like I said earlier, the story itself is overlooked by a lot of folks. I think it should resonate more with, I think, the older, our older readers out there. Um, but it was collected in a trade paperback, so hopefully, some of the newer folks out there will pick it up. Again, these issues are found in the quarter bin and 50-cent bin, unfortunately, and they can be had. The whole series can be had probably for less than $10. Here's Omega number 3 with an odd pairing of the villain Electro, which has an awesome Gil Kane cover. Number 3, a very good issue. Issue number 4, El Gato. I don't know. I think this might be Mooney doing the cover. I don't know who did the cover tours on this. Number 4. And like I said, the story really is between the relationship between him and the boy, and it's a science fiction story. It's an adventure story. It's a superhero story. Everything. It's all combined. It all combined into one excellent comic book. Here's another awesome Gil Kane cover with the typical Marvel word blurb: "Power be my destiny." Omega the Unknown number 6, the awesome Ramita cover. Ramita and Cockrum, what a pairing. Number 7. And those who have not had I've never gave this series a shot or a chance, please pick it up. You won't be disappointed, I guarantee it. Particularly if you're a big fan of Steve Gerber. Now this was a good villain for him to go against. It was Nitro with an awesome Gil Kane cover. I always try to give this series a shot. And again, it only lasted 10 issues. Number 9. And I think Gerber Screens and Jim Mooney did everything up to number 9. I know they didn't do number 10. Awesome Cockrum cover, Pablo Marcos. But in number 10, something happens to our hero in number 10. And this came out in 1977. And the story did not pick up. And it was a very climactic ending to that series. And it did not pick up until 2 years later in The Defenders. So this was the start of the Omega the Unknown story in The Defenders, the last page in this issue. Defenders number 75. Stephen Grant and Herb Trimpe, I do believe. And it went on into the main feature, the main story in The Defenders is called The Last Omega Saga. Defenders number 76. Stephen Grant and Herb Trimpe, I do believe. And it's concluded, which was very good. The way they ended it, I thought was to me, it was good. Explained a lot of things, and it kind of tied everything up. Was Defenders 77. Last time we see Omega the Unknown. And that is it for that series. But like I said, it was weird how it ended in its own series, and 2 years later it picked up in Defenders. It was kind of an odd thing. I had forgotten about Omega the Unknown, and then when I bought the Defenders, I bought the third of the issue, the third of the storyline. I had bought this one off the rack, and I remembered as I read it, I was like, oh my gosh, that's right, Omega the Unknown. So I had to find a few issues that I did have in my collection and go back and buy those other ones as back issues. But like I said, it's a fun series. I highly recommend it. It's one of those underrated, under the radar type of Bronze Age books that I think people will enjoy if they bother to pick it up. And last but not least, big H.P. Lovecraft fan. So anything I try and do, everything I want to do or try and do is get all the paperbacks or all the books from Arkham House and different paperbacks of anything we're doing with H.P. Lovecraft. And they're hard to come by. And it's funny, I think you can tell a lot about an author, because I frequent, cons and used bookstores and pretty good, solidly stocked used bookstores, and always go to the horror section and the sci-fi section. H.P. Lovecraft, they're hard to find, they're hard to get a hold of, and you pay a pretty penny for anything that you may get from H.P. Lovecraft. But you'll see tons of Stephen King, tons of Kuntz, tons of other writers that are popular, I guess, but everyone sells their books off. But not with H.P. Lovecraft. H.P. Lovecraft is, everyone keeps them, they're coveted. I know my collection is back part of that bookshelf right there. Most of that bookshelf was H.P. Lovecraft. But again, I try to get the paperbacks because they'll put out a series of paperbacks, and anyone who collects horror or sci-fi paperbacks, particularly horror, knows a series they put out will have the same cover artist just drawing different things on it. So part of that collection is getting everything you can and putting it all together. So one of the things I picked up this weekend, The Shuttered Room and Other Tales of Horror, H.P. Lovecraft, and August Derleth. August Derleth was someone who was a correspondent and someone who hung around with Lovecraft and published his stuff after his death and attaches his name to a lot of stuff. At least that's my understanding anyway. But here's this one right here. Again, this is not in that good a shape, and this was $6. And it's not. I wish it was in better shape, but it's not. And H.P. Lovecraft, The Doom of Sarnath, and Other Stories. This is the last one I need for this series, for this artwork. You put them all together, all the paperbacks together, and they form a big picture. But these are one of my favorite covers. And this was H.P. Lovecraft, The Love, Death, and Other Revisions. They threw his name on this. It's H.P. Lovecraft inspired stories by other artists, other writers. There's no H.P. Lovecraft story actually in this. It's stories inspired from him or by him. So add that to the collection. That's about it. Geez, I'm in almost 20 minutes. Hope you guys hung around this long. Thank you for viewing and subscribing, and thanks for all the great videos you guys have been putting up. Great content. Really been enjoying everything. So if you guys have any suggestions or ideas for future videos, please put in the comments. Have not forgot about the box sets that I talked about in my last video. I'll probably do a video this weekend covering at least one volume of the box sets. And Dr. Von Schiller knows what's coming, I think, by he recognized the logo on one of the boxes, so he has an idea what those what's in those record box sets. All right, thanks again, guys. Take care. Hope you enjoy the rest of the week.